In this video, I'm going to show you how to create this cute pear drawing in Adobe Illustrator. The original idea came from the Toots Plus website, and it's by this artist named Ivan Petrusevsky. Back in Illustrator, the first thing that you need to do is create a new document. Go to File, New, and from these choices at the top, go ahead and select Web, and choose the minimum size. For the title, put Pear and your name. Then click Create. Now we have a nice blank document. First thing that I'm going to use is the Ellipse tool. The Ellipse tool is located over here in the tool palette, and it's grouped together with the other shape tools. So if I click and hold on the rectangle tool, I will choose Ellipse from the menu. Right now, my colors are set to a white fill with a black outline called a stroke. So I actually would like to choose a nice green color. So I'll go over here to these panels and open the Swatches panel. The Swatches comes in a limited number of colors. So I prefer to open the side menu, go to Open Swatch Library, Color Books, and choose Pantone Solid Coated, which is a nice large palette of beautiful colors. And generally, I click on the bottom and drag it down so that I can see a lot of colors at once. So let's see, a nice color for a pear would perhaps be this one right here. I'll click to close this. So my fill is going to be green, but I don't want a black stroke on it. So I'll click to bring the stroke forward and choose None. Now with the Ellipse tool, I'll draw a nice oval shape to be the bottom of the pear. And then I'm going to draw a long oval up here at the top to be the top part of the pear. And I'll take the Move tool and I'll move those so that they line up a little bit better. That looks better. Okay, so again with the Selection tool, the black arrow, I will click and drag around both objects so that they're both selected. Right now it's two objects. I'm going to use the Pathfinder panel, which is located up here under Window and Pathfinder. I'm going to use the Pathfinder panel to connect those into one shape. So I'll click this button right here, which is called Unite, and now it's one shape. Now I need to refine the shape of this a little bit so it looks more like a pear. So to do that, I need to use the Direct Selection tool so it reveals where all of the anchor points are. Right away, I can see that I don't need these extra anchor points on the side, so I'm going to delete those. To delete them, click on the Pen tool. Don't get it confused with the Curvature tool, which is right next to it. So here's the Pen tool. I will select Delete Anchor Point tool, and I'll click directly on top of that little square, and directly on top of the square on this side. Alright, back to the Direct Selection tool, the white arrow. You may have to click the anchor point to reveal the handles, and then click the little tip where the blue dot is. I'm going to pull those out so they're a little wider. Now these, I don't want there to be an angle here. I want it to be a curve. So what I'm going to do is go back to the Pen tool, click it and hold it, and choose the Anchor Point tool. And this part's a little tricky, so what I'm going to do is convert this from an angle to a curve. And to do that, I'm going to find the square, click on it, and hold it and drag it. Now you can see I have this twist, and this is the part that confuses people. What I need to do is untwist this, and at first you don't know which way to go. Should you go up or down? So let's try going down. Okay, that was the right way. So if I accidentally went up, you can see, oh, actually both ways worked. That's good to know. Alright, so let's see here. Let's use the Direct Selection tool, and I'll move this. Looks pretty cute so far. And back to the Anchor Point tool. Let's do the same thing on this side. So click and hold it, drag that out back to the direct selection tool. Click on the anchor point and move it so that it looks like a pear shape. So I'm just going to keep moving these around. And that looks pretty cute. Pretty good to me. Alright, I think I'm going to have this side be a little bit different than that side, just to give it a little bit of personality. The next thing I'm going to do is draw the face. So I want black eyes. So I'll go over here to the color swatches and I'll get a nice black color. Whoops, so I still had the pear selected when I did that, so it put a black stroke around the side, which is not what I want. So I'm going to push Control Z on the keyboard, and to deselect the pear, since I currently have the direct selection tool selected, all I have to do is click off of it. Now, when I click black, it made the stroke black, but I actually want the fill to be black. So I'll click the swap arrow and I'll click none for the stroke. Now with the ellipse tool again, if you hold down shift on the keyboard, it will, instead of making the ellipse an oval, it will constrain it and make it a circle. So there's my first eye. And there are many ways to make a copy, but one way is to get the selection tool, hold down Alt on the keyboard, and just drag a copy. So let's see, I think I'll put the eyes about there for now. Now I'm going to make the mouth. So again, I need to hold down Shift on the keyboard, and with the ellipse tool, I'll drag out a circle, and it needs to be black. So let's get the black there. Oopsies. So let's see. Let's flip this and change the stroke to none. There we go. Now I'm going to click and drag another circle approximately the same size and use the selection tool to overlap those. And what I want is a smile shape down here at the bottom. So I'll draw a box around both of these with the selection tool so that they're both selected, and then with the Pathfinder panel I'll choose minus front. So it takes that little chunk out of it and it leaves a nice smile shape. So I'll put this in here and I'll shrink it. And I think my eyes are a little bit too close together, so let me move those apart a little. Move that mouth up. That looks really cute. So now the next thing that I need to do is put the stem and the leaf on it. So I will use the ellipse tool, and let's change the color to maybe a darker green like this. And I'll click and drag a oval to be the leaf shape. But let me flip these because I want it to be red. I'm sorry, I want it to be green, but I don't want the black, so I'll click none. There we go. Now I will use the direct selection tool and click on this top anchor point, and I will just kind of drag that down a little bit to make it have a little bit more of a leaf shape. That looks good. So I kind of dragged it and twisted it. So now I'll use the selection tool, move this over in the approximate area that I want it. I'm going to rotate it. I think it's a little bit too big, so I will use the corner anchor points to make it a little bit smaller. Great, and now all I have to do is draw the stem. So for the stem, I will use the ellipse tool, and I'll make a smaller oval, and I think I'll make it a little bit darker. How about this one? Oh, so let me flip that and put the stroke on none. There we go. And I'll use the direct selection tool to click to reveal the little anchor point handles here. make this a little wider at the top and skinnier at the bottom. I think I'll make that pointy by using the anchor point converter tool. Alright, now I will move this over here and I'll tilt it a little bit, maybe make it a little bit thinner. Alright, so finished. So please do go to File, Save, and save it to the correct drive, and then use the snipping tool to make a screen capture to put into your digital portfolio. That's it for now.